Rise and shine, everyone. It is more World Card time, and this is Between Two Slabs Pop Culture Talk with Merlin. And today's guest is Don Pham of Don_Wrestling_Sports. And we're going to talk Wrestlemania and wrestling cards on today's show since it is the road to Wrestlemania. All right, everyone. I want to introduce to you all Don Pham. I met him at the Union Marketplace this weekend at the card show. And man, we talked it up. He had so many awesome wrestling cards. I looked on his IG. He had so many wrestling cards and celebrity cards that I was like, I got to be friends with this guy. And we like bantered it up. We talked about wrestling. I mean, he knows independent, AEW, WWE. He watches as much wrestling as me. So I had to have him on this show because I'm gearing up for my first Wrestlecon. And hell, I may even go to Wrestlemania because I only live 20 minutes down. So everyone, here he is, Don Pham. Don, welcome to Pop Culture with Merle. How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? I'm doing great.
This is our second episode of Between Two Slabs Pop Talk with Merlin. So thanks for being my guest, man.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
No problem. You know, I've met you. I don't know if we've met before, but I know that I finally met you at the Union Marketplace this past weekend. I looked at your display case. You'd already been over to my table, but I noticed all the wrestling cards and celebrity cards and pop culture you had at your table. And I have to say, I was very impressed. And then starting talking to you and your knowledge of cards, not just cards, but of wrestling, just blew me away. And I was like, I want to come back. So anytime I had a chance to take a break to come see you, I came to talk to you and ask you about wrestling and cards, and you just like filled me in with everything. And I learned a lot. I don't feel like you can never learn enough. You can always learn some more. So thank you for teaching me more about wrestling and wrestling cards and how to will and deal, because you taught me things I never even knew. So thank you so much, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you came over. And, you know, we had a mutual fan introduce us. So it's always good to talk to wrestling fans that come out to these card shows. So, you know, I know you're more national. I just stay in California. So
I know.
You know, I got the people who always come to talk to me about wrestling. So it's always fun. You know, the wrestling community is just, it's a group that's so together, and we always kind of like talk about the same things and like the same stuff, help each other with collections and things like that. So
now, how long have you been in the card world?
I mean, honestly, I was into sports cards, you know, back in the 90s, you know, junk wax era and all that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and then, you know, of course, you know, life got in the way. So I got out of it at the late 90s, and I came back about 2016 or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was really by accident. You know, I was out just getting at a show, getting some autographs of some 49ers, which I'm a big 49ers fan.
That's your favorite team?
Yeah, I was just getting some memorabilia signed. Yeah, and I was just I was bored and waiting around. I, you know, started looking at the cards again, and I'm like, oh, yeah, these are interesting. I'm starting to see all these new stuff. I'm like, yeah, let me just buy a couple of wax boxes of sports just for the hell of it. You know, they were cheap back then, right? So even 2015, 2016. Next thing you know, I'm back into sports, and I discovered group breaks, and, you know, I started doing that stuff. And I didn't really know or get back into wrestling cards about 2018 or 19 or so.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I just bought a box, you know, did good. I'm like, oh, these are kind of cool. And I had already been watching it. So I just started buying more. Then I found some Facebook groups, and that's what really kind of got me back in, because finding that community and, you know, people helping you out and helping out with collections and just so many cool stuff out there. So I did get back into it, you know.
Are you still like on those Facebook groups, like trading and buying and stuff?
Yeah, I don't really. I buy a little bit and I trade a little bit, but it's more of just the communication. And, you know, if I have a card, like I know certain people who collect certain people, and if I hit something or find something, I just reach out to those people and, you know, hook them up and vice versa. So it's just kind of cool to see how much it's grown since then. You know, back, I would say probably even like just 3 years ago, you know, buying a $300 wrestling card was like crazy to people. That's like,
who would have thought, right?
Yeah, that was like super high end. I kind of came into those groups buying all these higher end cards, quote unquote, mainly just because people I liked, you know. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, you know, like Legends autos and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I became the quote unquote high end guy, you know, for $300 cards
of the wrestling cards.
Yeah. So next thing you know, a couple years later, like $300 is like nothing now, you know?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. It really blew up with Panini. So, but no, it's just great to see, honestly.
Yeah. How long have you been selling cards, like setting at shows? I guess in California mainly, right?
Yeah, it's been probably about right before the pandemic. So probably around like the end of 2019 or so, where I had always just saved my card. I collected and just kind of kept them for my PC, and I would sell on eBay here and there and things like that. And then I started meeting people on Facebook, and then I met somebody local here, you know, in my area, and you know, we started selling cards, trading some cards, and there was a local show that just happened to be around here, and we started to do a show together. You know, sold a bunch of my cards. I'm like, oh, geez, wow, I had no idea that cards were this popular again, you know? And then next thing you know, like, it's just fun meeting people and talking to people instead of just dealing online, you know?
Right,
so
exactly.
that face-to-face interaction is just so much better. And then next thing you know, that's about it. So, you know, next thing I know, I'm doing about, you know, 4 to 5 shows a year.
And which shows are those? Like Premiere and...
No, I haven't done that one yet. So, I mean, up here, I do the Card Addict up in the Bay Area. He's a big one.
Oh, that's right. You're up north. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I'm in Northern California. But Southern California, I do Southern as well. So, you know, like Dynasty Mode, EJ.
EJ, right. We all know
the
EJ.
Burbank show. Yeah, so the Burbank card show, I've done all 3 of those shows. And then the Del Mar show, I've done all 3 Del Mar shows. So,
you have?
Yeah.
So you drive down here or fly?
No, I drive because my family is actually in Orange County. So it makes it easy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just kind of drive down and stay at my parents' house, and I don't mind the drive. I mean, I drive basically for a living anyways. You know, I'm always on the road, so.
Did you you also do like a Dion show? What's that one?
Up at Dion shows, Card Addict. Yeah, Dion Card Addict.
Yes. Yeah, we did his show like a year ago, or a year and a half ago.
Yeah, like he was
Thanksgiving weekend or before Thanksgiving in 21.
Yeah, and he did a couple in Fairfield, and he did it in Hayward. So he's about to have another one here in the first week of June. So we'll be setting up there. So
when did you start like selling wrestling cards and you thinking like, now, wow, I have some treasures here now and everybody wants it? When did you start seeing like a change in popularity?
That's the thing. So like I had these cards, and I wouldn't really try to sell them. I would really just like people would be posting post your favorite cards, and I would just post them. And you know, people started asking what they needed, how much I would sell for, and then I would meet people and they would trade, and we would just kind of start selling. But it wasn't really, at first, like I said, it was more of like a closet collection, right? A closet collector wrestling card, you know. And then next thing you know, like, wow, my collection actually is worth something now. So
I know.
So basically, probably when Panini started coming out is when, or right before that, that's when a lot of the cards started to explode a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But not to the degree now, because before, when Panini came back, that's when all the sports guys came in and more to the new collectors
and got involved with it.
Yeah, before it was just kind of the small community, mainly dealing on Facebook. Instagram was starting to get popular, and that's where I started selling here and there, and I would help guys collections and vice versa, and that was mainly it.
Now I feel like the same thing happened with UFC. Do you agree?
Yes. Yeah, it was probably right after. UFC was popular first, and then WWE kind of came afterwards. But I feel like now I want to say WWE is probably cards is more popular than UFC now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just me. It's just me because I'm more into.
No, wrestling. I think so.
But I think it's kind of surpassed it because just there's more stars in wrestling. There's more glamour and glitz, and it's cheaper. So
and a lot more of the wrestlers are actors now, of course.
Yes, exactly. And then you got crossover guys like Brock Lesnar and Ronda,
right?
Shayna Baszler. So you got more of the crossovers, and then you're going to see more UFC guys go into WWE. Like, why do I want to get hit in the face for real for a small amount of money when I can
break my leg?
Yeah, when I can go work less and be in front of 80,000 people at WrestleMania.
So when you started collecting wrestling cards, who were you collecting?
I mean, my guys were. I mean, I grew up on the Macho Man.
Of course.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Undertaker, basically the Attitude Era guys. Mm-hmm. So back then it was only Topps cards, so I would look for just autos, like dual autos they're still my favorite. Dual autos, triple autos, those are my favorite. And I started gathering some of those and just buying some wax here and there and just kind of collecting those, because I would mainly try to find people who I loved, right? Stone Cold. It was also the big thing too back a few years ago, where the hot ones weren't the ones you would think of, like Roman Reigns or Hulk Hogan or whatever. It were the female wrestlers. That's what was more popular, like, you know, Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. I go back to the Attitude Era, so my favorites, you know, Trish Stratus, Tori Wilson, and Stacy Keibler. Those were my favorites.
And Lita. Yeah,
those were my favorites. So I collected those, and then other guys would collect other women, and guys like Roman Reigns would be like dirt cheap, and nobody cared, and the guys nobody cared about, honestly, you know. And then probably just started switching, you know, slowly but surely. It started to switch over.
Right. And when did you start like deciding, like, how did you figure out which cards would sell best at card shows, or was just like an experiment? You were just like throwing stuff out there and then just see what people were buying.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't figure out the show aspect of it probably until like a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Mainly, I was collecting for me. I was doing sports at shows to sell. Wrestling, I wasn't really bringing my wrestling stuff to the first card shows when I was doing them, mainly because it was my PC. You know, I didn't really care about that. So a lot of stuff I bought, like my favorite set when I started to really go hardcore was 2019 Topps Transcendent.
Oh yeah, I love the Transcendents.
Yeah.
So now, how'd you get involved in the Transcendents? Because you told me about your trip to New York, which you'll have to tell the audience about how you went to New York. So I want to hear how this all transpired.
Yeah. So when Topps first announced that Transcendent was going to happen, and I saw that they were going to have the McMahon autos, on-card autos in wrestling. Usually wrestling cards were sticker autos. Except, you know, Undisputed was probably the only set that had on-card autos.
Right.
But when you started to announce that you would have Stone Cold Steve Austin and all the McMahon signed, I'm like, okay, you know, this is the set. Like, I'm going to go hardcore on this. I am going to put everything I have into this PC. I'll go into every group break that I can. I didn't buy any cases, but I did every group break. I will buy anything I would see. And that just got me going right there. So I figured, you know, because I didn't know if there was going to happen again, right? So when are you going to ever get a Vince McMahon auto, right? So I remember when the first day it came out, and I was doing some breaks. I did okay. And a one-of-one Vince McMahon popped up on eBay. And I decided I was negotiating with the guy. I ended up buying the card. And at the time, I want to say I bought it for like $1,800 or whatever.
Okay.
At the time, that's unheard of. Like,
that was a lot of money, you're saying.
I was already, for wrestling, I was already regretting. I'm like, why did I do this? Did I already overpay too much? But you know what? For a one-on-one Vince McMahon auto that I still have, you know, that I can show you.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the Vince McMahon auto, one-on-one.
There you go. Yeah. Go a little closer, Don. Get that a little closer and hold it a little longer so they can see it. No, right here. Then pull it back a little so the reflection.
Yeah. Sorry.
There you go. Right there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I regretted it. I'm like, I'm just kicking myself. But you know what? Like, I'm gonna get it, right? So then I started doing more breaks, and anytime it popped to me, I would just buy it. Because you know what? Like, this is gonna be my Grail collection. You know, when are you gonna have it, right? So I started doing more breaks. I ended up hitting a Stone Cold 1-of-1.
Wow. You got one out of the box?
Group breaks. I didn't buy any cases. I did all.
Okay, but I'm saying, so you got this out of a break and you won it, basically.
Yes, Stone Cold 1-of-1. Like, I bought like 3 spots.
So so how do you get the spots? Like, you buy the purchase on eBay or something?
Yeah, it was a group break. So like whatever sites there were going, I would just go onto the site and buy random hit spot. You know, that's what it was. So.
And do you remember how much it cost?
I want to say they were like $400 a spot.
So I want people to like learn, because a lot of people on the show who's watching the show may not understand that how a break works. So what do? Do you buy that Stone Cold spot? Like, do you?
No. So what would happen is like, so like you would have the Transcendent case, which would be about, I want to say like 42 spots.
Okay.
So basically, or something like that. So they would have like the 40, or probably 50 spots. So there were like 40 of the main cards, you know, there to be autos. They were numbered, you know, there were 2 1-of-1s in every case, some out of 5s, 10s, 15s, and 25s. And then there was a sketch card. There was an art card, and there was also a VIP ticket that would go to the Transcendent Party and tickets to WrestleMania. So basically, they would sell, say there was like 45 total items. they would sell 45 spots at about, I think $350, $400 a piece. And you can buy as many spots as you want. They would open the case, reveal all the cards, reveal all the everything that was in the case, and then they would random each item and match it with the list. And so whatever that list came up, and they random it on, they do it online, and that's what it came out as.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, so I was lucky to get I did a Stone Cold. I hit a Stone Cold 101. I did a break and got the VIP ticket.
Oh well, and what's the VIP ticket include?
So that's the Transcendent party that gets you to go to Wrestlemania.
Wow!
It's a private party where they have food. They will have guests there, like wrestlers. They don't tell you who, but they will have wrestlers come with you. It's like a private party before WrestleMania, like in the stadium.
Jeez.
So it was like 50. It was up to 50. There was 50 people that got these tickets.
Wow.
And then you would get the ticket to go sit at WrestleMania. So it was a whole thing. And then the year that happened it was going to be in New York.
Oh,
literally
man.
the last one before the pandemic.
What was it? A stadium, arena? Where was it?
It was in the Meadowlands, or whatever you call it now.
Meadowlands, where the Giants play.
Yeah, where the Giants and the Jets play. So there's my first time ever going to New York. Flew into New York.
Oh wow!
I decided, if I'm gonna go all out, right? So I stayed at the Wrestlecon hotel. So, I did that because I knew I wanted to get some autographs and things like that. So I want to stay at the Wrestlecon hotel.
Okay, and then how was the WrestleCon?
WrestleCon was amazing. You got to meet so many people. It's 4 days, so I got to meet anybody, almost anybody, and everybody. I think I told you the one guest I really wanted to meet and get an autograph was from the Great Muta, and didn't get a chance to do it because
he was there.
He was there because the lines from other guests are so long, you can only do so much, right? So, but I got all the other ones that I wanted. I wanted to meet Trish and Lita. You'd be able to get a photo with them.
Did you get a photo op with them?
Yeah, I got a photo op with them. Got signed pictures. Did the 4 Horsemen photo op where you were in the picture with the 4 Horsemen.
From NWA days, 4 Horsemen.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. So which was the original ones? It was Flair, Anderson, Blanchard, and
Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Barry Windham.
Barry Windham, that group. Okay.
Yeah, that was my favorite alliteration of the 4 Horsemen.
That was after Luger and Ole.
Yeah, nobody cares about Luger and the Horsemen.
How about Ole?
Ole was a little before my time, but
that was the real OG.
Yeah, he doesn't like to meet people, so you probably.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah.
So that wasn't going to happen.
So you got to go, and how many people you think were at WrestleCon? Because I haven't been. This is gonna be my first time, dude.
God, there were thousands.
Really? It's gonna be packed. You think this weekend?
Yeah, I'm sure each year they do it better because they'll do it over like 2 different floors where they'll have like whoever's the main autograph signers. They'll put them in a separate room because the lines are so long. They'll keep them separate from the the showroom, with all the like you guys and whoever's selling stuff. They'll have just like maybe the smaller guests that our lines are smaller. So I think I saw the list, so I think you guys like Goldberg and Mercedes Moné and those guys, they'll probably be
Flair.
They'll be in a separate room, so that way they're not going to be in the way. So it's easier for people to go to. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's just you got to have a plan of who you want to see, and you got to figure out which day you want to do it and like how you want to do it, because otherwise you'll lose it. It's just tough. Did
you buy a lot of merch?
I didn't buy a lot of it. I'm not a big merch kind of guy.
Oh, you're not?
For WrestleCon, I'll buy merch at the event. So like a couple of events I went to the Madison Square Garden show with ROH in New Japan.
Oh, you went to that?
That was a must. I did and then the only other big show I went to was NXT TakeOver. I've got the shirt.
You went to that as well. Wow, look at there.
Yeah, that was big, with the black and gold brand. That was the hottest show, and I just bought a ticket like literally the last couple days before, and just kind of took the subway and went to Brooklyn.
Who main evented the NXT then?
That was Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. I'm a big Adam Cole guy, so he's one of my favorites right now.
And those guys are both very small. They're much bigger than us, you and me.
No, they're not that big.
They're really tiny. I've been up beside both of them before. I've seen both of them.
I've met Adam Cole a bunch of times, but yeah, they're not. But you know what? Like, they have that it factor. Or at least Adam Cole. I'm a big Adam
that would have
Cole
never
guy.
happened like 30 years ago.
Yeah, no, and even now, you know, Adam Cole, he's still when you see him in AEW now, and he's still small, but
Yes,
he's got that charisma and that it factor that just everybody loves him, and he's got that, you know, the baby thing, you know, and everybody loves him, you know. So he was my guy, and the crowd for NXT is just so hot, like it's just crazy, unlike any other show I've been to.
Now the people at the convention and that attend all these shows, they know they're wrestling during this time, right?
Well, not necessarily, because you're gonna
really?
have your OG people who are there for the Hall of Famers, the old school guys, and then you're gonna have guys who go for the current ones, and there's gonna be people I don't know, or other people don't even know. You know, like I've seen the list for this one. There's a lot of Japanese wrestlers I've never even heard of before.
No, really?
But I know there's a section of the audience I guarantee it's gonna be huge lines, just because they never get to see Japanese wrestlers come over very often.
No. I mean, I'm really excited because I'm going to the Ring of Honor Supercard Friday night, so I'm very excited about that. I've never been to an ROH event before, so was that your first one when you went on in New York?
No, I've been to ROH shows out in Las Vegas. I used to follow ROH a lot, like during the late 2000, or like 2010 and 2000, between about 2008 2015. I was pretty hard on ROH. You had the Young Bucks and you had those guys, and then it kind of teetered. Once those guys kind of left, it kind of teetered off a little bit. Now it's basically AEW. So, but
because AEW owns it now, right?
Yeah, they bought ROH, which I'm glad, because at least now there's a home for it. So I think now they're able to put more wrestlers on there, and that's always a good thing, to have more wrestlers around and give them a job.
Oh my goodness,
should be a good show though.
It should. I can't wait. There's also an after party. I meant this week is going to be like the Sundance film, or it's going to be like Coachella for wrestling.
That's good. That's a great way to put it. Yeah. You just got to do as much as you can, what you can fit in,
I hope I can stand by a Sunday evening.
You're not even going to go to WrestleMania. So, I mean, you should.
No, I think we're going to go on Saturday night, dude. I'm going to go on Saturday. I'm buying last minute tickets.
Hey, better than no nights, but one night's could be good.
If I'm going to do it, I'd rather do that. I feel like it's going to be more affordable since the main event's not on Saturday.
Yeah, and you can watch that on TV. So then,
and I think I'm going to be dead by that point. So I'd rather just stretch out and relax, and I'll probably fall in and out of sleep with it. But I'll do have friends coming over Sunday to watch it with me, so they'll keep me up. Hopefully,
that's cool.
I'm going to need to drink a lot of rock stars or something.
I think the action will keep you awake.
But you know what? When I met you this weekend, you taught me something new as a dealer selling wrestling cards. I mean, I've been doing very well, but you kind of educated me more. What's the difference is going to be between customers at a card show versus customers at like Wrestlecon or a wrestling event, or a wrestling show kind of base where it's more memorabilia and everything. But you taught me like the people there are pretty much going to see it. I may have it wrong, but they may see the cards more as memorabilia than they do cars, like they do at a card show when you and I sell cards at a card show. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah. Just from the people I know in my Facebook groups that go to like the big cons back east in New York, Philadelphia, and those places, people go for the autographs and they like memorabilia or, Funko Pops or things like that. They're not there for cards, but if they see cards, they'll be interested, so it kind of depends. So they're going to always look at comps and, what we go through in the shows, but I think they're going to be more of the unique stuff, like I think some of the stuff that you had, like in-person autographs for like, PWG and some of the independents, some of the unique stuff like that. I think those will do well.
And that's stuff that it's hard for me to move at regular card shows, is the indie stuff. Like, especially in Southern California. I mean, people love the wrestling in Southern California. Like, believe me, every time I go to an event here in Los Angeles, it's sold out and it's like hardcore fanatics. But when I try to sell those indie cards at card shows in LA, no. And when I go to the Dallas card show, there's people there who love more AEW. I can't sell AEW in LA, but I can sell it like hotcakes in Dallas.
So yeah, that's what you when you told me that I learned something new on that one.
Yeah,
you know, I haven't done a show outside of California, so you know I've only done shows out here, and I know what works for me because usually I'm usually
WWE.
Yeah, I'm usually the only like wrestling guy at a card show usually.
Right. I heard
the full table and things like that, you know. But yeah, stuff like I'm surprised when you told me about that. I was like, oh wow, I was surprised. You know, I had no idea.
Yeah, it was shocked me because when I was set up the Burbank card show, people were buying WWE from me, but yet they would see like MJF and Kenny Omega and say like, "Who are they?"
Yeah,
I was like, "Well, are you kidding me? I thought you liked wrestling. You just bought like $500 worth of wrestling cards from me, and you don't even know the AEW wrestlers."
Yeah, they only know Chris Jericho. You know, the WWE guy.
Maybe so. Yeah, or Sting.
Yeah, Britt Baker's probably the most popular one.
Okay, MJF is too. Omega.
Yeah, I haven't had anybody ask me for MJF, or I've had Kenny Omega cards, and no, I've never sold a Kenny Omega card at a show.
Oh, see, I get wiped out in Dallas.
Yeah. Yes, for me, if I have a Kenny Omega card that I need to sell, I would actually just eBay it. That's literally
yeah.
Do it. Yeah. Out here, it's more WWE, and that's what people know. High-end cards are a little harder to do out here in the Bay Area, you know, in California as well. It's like that sweet spot. They like the cheaper. They like the dollar boxes and anything under $200 at the sweet spot.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah. So I've seen certain people sell better than others. So I kind of just go with that. And if I have so much inventory based on my own personal collection, I'm always either upgrading my PC. So then now I have these other cards I can just sell, you know, so that's how usually I get some inventory. I don't break a lot, you know, unless I like a product. Yeah, unless I like a product. But
have you braked any Panini stuff product?
Oh yeah, I mean, when Prism came out, yeah, I mean, I bought a case. Not even buy a case, but I bought boxes of Prism, you know, and they were going crazy high. I would sell some boxes, you know, and then and I went Impeccable. I really liked, and then Immaculate.
I like that.
Crazy. I ended up buying 2 cases of Immaculate,
and that's because they're on card autos, right?
On card autos, and the photos are tremendous. You know, whoever's in the sets are great. It's WWE, right? They provide Panini everything they need. So like you get the greatest photos, you get the autos and dual autos, triple autos that you just wouldn't find anywhere.
I love those. Let's go back to Wrestlecon again, because you gave me great advice for setting up this weekend. I hope you're right. Because you're not, I'm coming after you.
What did I say?
We're going to do our own Hell in a Cell, Don.
Anyway, I don't know what I said now.
You told me that people there, because the difference is the people at a regular card show versus a wrestling show don't like as much graded cards as they do at a card show, because as we see, a lot of people who are buying the wrestling cards from us at these shows are more sports related investors or hobbyists.
Yes.
And they want that grade versus the people at, like, say, at a Wrestlecon or what other wrestling events you attend.
Yeah. If you are pre-Panini wrestling fans, they don't like graded cards.
Okay.
At all. Now, some of the older stuff, if you can get it graded, you know, get like a PSA 10 or something, day before that, because they were just hard to grade, and a lot of people just kind of destroyed the card. So any of the early 2000 cards and things like that, you know, you can see rough corners and things like that. So, but wrestling collectors didn't care. You know, there's some sets where, like, I want to say 2002, 2001 Heritage, they had on-card autos, and they're all beat. Anytime you see one, they're all beat up. You know, they look like they're from the 50s or something. They're all.
I mean, you rarely even see a 9. I've never seen a 9 or 10 98 Comic Images Rock auto. Have you?
I have a PSA 8 Rock, and I have a PSA
like
9. Yeah, I have a PSA. Yeah, it's the highest grade. 8's the highest grade.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and I have a PSA 9 Macho Man. But those are actually.
Is that 98 or 94?
The 98, the autos.
Macho Man was 98 as well.
Yeah, they also had Action Packed in 94 or 96.
94. Yeah, because I had the Undertaker and the Savage out of those. And those don't grade well, especially the auto, because they signed it over the embossed area.
Yeah, I have 4 of those Undertaker autos.
I saw that.
Yeah, I have a 7'9" and a 6'9".
Oh wow.
Two. Yeah, the Macho Man, I have a couple that aren't great. I kind of left raw. But even those, like if you find those, I think you said if you go because they're more higher end, people want graded. But more of like the hardcore collectors, they don't want it graded at all, like tops and things like that, because it's for their PC and they're locked up. So there's a handful of guys who have these crazy collections, you know, from tops that you will never see because they keep them in their PC. Literally, if it's graded, they'll probably keep it mainly because they don't know how to crack the case. Otherwise, they would crack it.
Let's get a pair of pliers or whatever, those sharp ones.
Yeah, so people ask. Yeah, so I've sold some graded cards and they asked me to crack them and then send it to.
Even if it was a PSA 10, you've cracked a PSA 10.
I've cracked a PSA 10.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not gonna. I mean, if they bought it, I'm not gonna say no. You know. So
but they'll still buy it at that premium price. That should be a PSA 10 card versus a regular.
It's more of like they can't find it, right? So it's more. So the good thing about shows for wrestling collectors is like they will overpay for their PC cards.
Gotcha.
Like all day long. Now, when it comes to like Panini and stuff, now it kind of brought a whole different game to it where people will overpay. But it's different with graded, right? So you'll have people overpay for graded, but it's almost two different sections of the community now. You got the hardcores that are still there, and then you have the newbies who are coming in and
there's a lot of
things graded. They will grade everything.
I bet. Oh yes. Oh wow. And when you did the shows, like recently, what do you think are the best moving wrestling cards right now for you, or that you see around at shows?
It's always the newest product.
Okay.
Right. So that's the thing. So it's kind of like other sports too. So it's whatever the newest product just came out is always the hottest. Wrestling, they always love their patches. That's why Immaculate is so popular. The patches are so good.
Oh, really?
Like the jumbo shirt.
I didn't know this.
Those stuff, like that's why it's so popular, is because those patches. I mean, you'll see sports with patches that people don't care, right? Because unless it's game used, people aren't going to care. But you've seen some, I don't know if you've seen some of those eBay ones where like a Shotzi Blackheart out of 50 patch because it's so cool, because it's got like, you know, whatever the things like are, you know, the like zombie
the whatever on them. Yeah, whatever the patterns or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it went for like $600, which is unheard of.
For a Shotzi.
Yeah, for a Shotzi, because she has the coolest shirts, right? So you're gonna make the coolest patches, you know. Or like my friend just hit a Gigi Dolan patch that has her face on it from the shirt.
Right.
He's never gonna sell that card, but if he were to eBay that card, I guarantee he's gonna go for over $500.
Woo!
Even though it's out of 50, right? So, you know, and you'll get the same out of 50, but if it's like a plain patch, it'll go for $50.
And those bids or whatever, those prices come from true wrestling fans, correct?
Yeah, they're collectors.
More than they aren't investors.
Yeah, they're not buying to resell it.
Because we think, in my world, I think it's more of the autographs, and you telling me it's like more of the patches for the wrestling world.
If the patches are good,
cool, yeah, they got to be cool. It can't be just a white cloth.
Yeah, this is the first set where the patches are this good.
Very unique patterns.
Yeah, and that's why it's done
or images.
So well. Yeah, and that's why it's done so well, unlike any of the other ones. Like Select had small patches, Impeccable had small patches. Like this, I know so many people are trying to get just to do a set of the shirt relics, the jumbo shirt relics.
Oh wow!
So that's why you're going to see these prices just continue to go up, because people are going to outbid each other. It's just insane how much.
Oh my God! See, I didn't know this. This is great. Have you purchased any?
I've purchased a couple, but I can't, unless it's somebody I really, really like.
Yeah.
I can't pay that much for a patch.
Who's your favorite like modern day like wrestlers you would want to invest in?
So I tried to. So like Rio Ripley has some cool patches from her jacket or hoodie. Like she had one that you had like 3 buttons on them. I tried to bid on that and I got outbid. It ended up going for like $350.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Or like Becky Lynch has her The Man jacket, where there's a lot of Becky Lynch collectors, and some of them have like, you can see, you know, partial the word The Man, or you can like things like that, or the patches are very unique and they just go crazy on them.
Oh wow. Now, which wrestlers do you like to invest in, or the new ones right now? What do you like to invest in versus what you like to collect yourself or resell?
Yeah, so like I think it's kind of it's almost like twofold question there.
Exactly,
So
of course it is.
Investing in wrestling is hard, right? Like
Right.
it's harder. I think it's harder than sports because
and so what's your procedure to do that? What's your like ritual?
You have to watch the product, right? So you have to watch the product. In the end, I will always believe that the women will sell better than the men.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to hold long term, you got to go for the legends like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ric Flair, Roman Reigns. You would think sells very well,
I know, right?
But he doesn't.
He's hard to move. I do agree.
The stuff that sells are his older stuff that's graded. His 2014 Topps Chrome, like rookies and the autos, the gold refractors and things like that. But even then, there's a handful of people that are willing to pay a lot of money for those cards. But current stuff, Hogan cards are always good. You can't go wrong with the one, the ones that are impeccable, the championship debuts, the ones with the number on them. Those will always hold value, which is the same in sports, right? Those sell on sports. That's going to be good. Dual autos, multi-autos, those will always do well. But investing wise, it's very, very hard. You have to watch the show and then kind to forecast ahead of time. Like I've always been a big Austin Theory fan. I was on him when before he came to WWE.
Oh, where was he before, prior?
Yeah, so I bought a lot of his cards.
Where was he prior?
He was on the independent scenes.
Okay.
So he's out there. And then when he came to WWE, he was in NXT. And then he did in the pandemic, he was on the main roster. He did a WrestleMania in the pandemic. But, I could always see there was it to him. So I would just buy his cards, and they were dirt cheap. So it wasn't anything to me. And I was just a fan. So, man, I was just, I'm just going to buy these because it wasn't really an investment. It was just like they were cheap. I like the guy. So I'll buy his cards. They're cheap. Next thing you know, his cards were skyrocketing, once he started, doing the Vince McMahon thing,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like I always knew Rio Ripley would be good.
And then when Vince left and Hunter took over, a lot of people were worried that Theory
they dumped his cards.
Was going to get dumped. And then the way they played it out with him keep trying to cash in Money in the Bank and getting killed for it, and looked like a fool. You thought that he was just going to be in and out now since Triple H took over.
No, I knew they were doing that for a reason, and I
to fool you.
Yeah, I knew they were gonna come back to him. Okay. They just had to do that to get out of the Money in the Bank thing because you can't have him beat Roman, right? It just people weren't gonna buy it. He just wasn't ready. And with Vince,
he was too green at the time. Still,
you couldn't do it. He's not green. I just think the character that he had just wasn't gonna fly because Roman is on a different level right now. So it wasn't believable. He was gonna get beat anyway. So you might as well have him lose the case and
get mad about it. Change his character.
Yeah, and start fresh and look at him now. He's
a whole different character now than he was a year ago.
Yeah, he's going to be a star for the next 10, 15 years. Is that going to translate to card prices going up? Depends, right? I don't see him being in demand. People are going to climb all over his cards. The people who prospect will, like the guys who buy the graded cards or more the newbies probably will. I don't see his cards.
They're already doing that.
Yeah, like they went up, they went down, they kind of went up a little bit more, but he's not popular. Like I don't see people clamoring over him on group breaks. I don't see anybody going after him, but
I see the climb happening right now, man, to be honest with you, because I had his cards for the longest time, bunches of them. And just recently, the last 3 shows I've attended, I've gotten wiped out of them.
Yes, I think
it's just new things happening.
Yeah. He would be good on the national level. So like on your national shows, that'd be great. In California, he's not going to sell. Right? He ain't going to sell. He's an eBay card. Like I put on eBay to sell because that would be where the best traction would be.
So we've got a lot of the legends men, but who are besides Austin Theory, who are some of the good buys right now for the modern wrestlers?
I would say, Liv Morgan's always popular.
Okay.
I think, she's female.
And beautiful.
Easy on the eyes. So I think she's going to have a market. Becky Lynch is always, popular. Charlotte Flair, to me, is, hands down the best women's wrestler, if not one of the best wrestlers, period. So I think her cards, are undervalued.
14 times.
Yeah, she has
True.
that. Yeah, like a lot. She divides the community a lot, or like half the people like her, half the people hate her.
So true.
Yeah, so that's something negative about her. But as an investment, if you have Charlotte Flair cards, especially because the way she's signed as well. So like at the beginning, she would sign her full name, and then she kind of just shuts it off to just Charlotte, and
you're right.
Kind of changes it over time a little bit. But she's underappreciated. But I think over time, she'll be one of more appreciated. Kind of, she reminds me of John Cena in like the 2010s.
Oh, really?
Where he was the guy, but everybody hated him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think Charlotte's and underappreciated. So now Charlotte's kind of the same boat. And now when Cena comes back, everybody loves him. So I think Charlotte's in that same boat. She's gonna be appreciated like that. So if you can find a good old Charlotte rookie card, you know, that's probably a good investment.
But it seems like that even though Charlotte now is the baby face going into WrestleMania and Rhea is the heel, seems like there's more fan base for Rhea.
Yes. Rhea is very, very popular. Like she has that unique look to her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she's just a beast.
So
she's gonna be great for the next 10 years. So, and she has more of that charisma where people love her. Charlotte reminds me, like I said, also like kind of like Triple H too, where it's kind of a little snooty. So people don't really like them as much to collect or anything like that. You do have your Charlotte collectors, but you don't see people asking for her cards as much.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, you know, Becky Lynch is like fun and, you know, you feel like you can go up and talk to her, you know, people like that, where Charlotte's kind of up there and you can't.
A little intimidating.
Yeah, but I've met her and she's as nice can be, you know.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she's kind of intimidating, you know, because she's
5'10".
Yeah, she carries herself very well, you know, so like she can be intimidating and like people probably can't relate to her.
True.
You know,
how about some of the men besides Austin Theory and like all the federations or the leagues?
Yeah, I mean,
besides just WWE.
Yeah, you can go anywhere. I mean, like you got to look down at NXT probably.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's a lot of young guys down there.
Like Braun Breaker.
I love Braun Breaker. Still ways away, and I think right now you can see like the fans are turning on him right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're turning. He's almost like the Roman Reigns of NXT.
Oh no!
When Roman was being pushed down everybody's throats.
Yeah,
you're starting to get that feeling. Yeah, so
he was I think he was more booed as a babyface than he is a heel.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you're gonna see on Saturday at Stand and Deliver, you're gonna have a 80-20 for Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes has that it factor. He's a little small, but I think he has that it factor. And I think he could play well in the main roster. Grayson Waller is just amazing.
He is.
You know, he's basically like the Miz, you know, but it can be super annoying and you know, piss people off. But he's got that it factor down there.
True.
Those are two guys that are.
So those are like prospects and
and then
card.
And then you got to buy the women. You know, the women will. If you're doing it to flip and to invest and to sell, you gotta look at the women. You know, Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, JC Jane. You know, those names, they're always gonna sell, and those are the people who people gravitate towards too.
But have you seen any men though pick up in sales?
Not really. Like I always end up selling the same guys.
They're already
the
on
legends,
the roster.
Yeah, legends always sell well for me. Like Hall of Fame, because it's what people know.
And that's what Dan and I, the great Cuter, and I have noticed too. That legends always do better than the new guys, which is totally the opposite in sports.
Yeah, it's because you can have a wider range of collectors. I mean, people who go to shows, I want to say it's probably less than like 5% of people who go to shows actually still watch wrestling. And the people I've seen people who buy wrestling cards, like the old timers, the Hall of Famers, they don't even watch the current stuff, but they see every show. I get somebody ask me, hey, do you have a $1 Million Man auto? That's like probably the most popular name because everybody remembers the $1 Million Man, right?
Well, he was the top heel back then.
Yeah, everybody remembers the $1 Million Man. So like
Ted
guys
DiBiase.
like that. Yeah, he's cheap. You can buy I had 4 or 5 of his autos in the $20 to $30 range gone. You know, because it's like think about it's only $20 for a Ted DiBiase auto versus like $150 for Roman Reigns or something like that.
How about like the legends that we still see on TV, like AEW has some legends on there, like Jeff Jarrett, Billy Gunn, and Sting.
Yeah, those guys don't sell really well. Chris Jericho sells.
Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah,
he's still active too, though. I mean, well, some of those guys are still wrestling. I mean, Jarrett is almost 60 and he looks amazing.
Yeah. Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, but people will buy his WWE auto before they'll buy the AEW auto.
AEW.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think easy buys, you know, Britt Baker, that's
right.
an easy one. And then Jade Cargill. If you're going to invest in cards, I tell it right now, everybody, go buy Jade Cargill cards.
I remember you telling me on Saturday you're looking for some Jade Cargill autos.
Yeah, I'm still looking for it. You just don't really see them very often, especially the current set. You know, the Spectrum or whatever it is, that have the patch autos.
Is that like her first card? Is the Spectrum?
Yeah, I believe so. The patch autos are nice looking cards. They did an Upper Deck did a nice job with the patches, so they're pretty cool. But I think she's a buy all day long because she's a star. Now, how long she's gonna stay in AEW, I don't know. That's the only caveat. But you look at Cody Rhodes' cards; his cards went up after he left AEW.
Of course, because
but once you start seeing WWE cards, then that's probably when his other cards kind of balance out.
Right. And let's see here. You know, I bought some cards from you the other day, and I was going to show the audience here because these are some great cards that you have. So I want to show like what's in your collection here that you sell at shows. I picked this up from you, this Hulk Hogan Impeccable, which we've talked about already. You said this is one of your favorite sets, correct? One of your favorite brands.
Those number sets are great.
And this one, I guess, because it says 84, that's the year he won the championship, right? That's why it has 84.
Championship, yeah, it's a championship debut card.
And you said also this is a different auto. It says Hulkster instead of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he signed some of them Hulk Hogan. He signed some of them Hulkster. So the one with the Hulkster auto like goes for a little more of a premium.
It does. Oh, so good to know. I'm glad I have that. Wow. And then I picked up. We talked about Rio Ripley. You said this is, she's very popular, a good investment right now, and she's on fire.
Yeah, that's a
I
gold.
got this prismatic prism gold.
Yep, out of 10.
It looks very sharp.
That's a nice card. I kind of regret selling that one.
I liked it. You had just gotten that one too, I believe.
Yeah, I did.
And then I've been looking at one of these cards. I've been looking for a Topps one the first where the father and son had a dual auto, and I guess this 21 is it, which is the Mysterios, Ray and Dominique. And you also bought a bunch of Dominiques from me as well. I guess you see some future in him too. And his cards are pretty cheap.
His cards are cheap. I don't know if he'll ever gain the steam, but I think people will start to catch on. I think he's in a great storyline. You can see him grow so much. Like he reminds me of Eddie Guerrero now. You know,
really?
He's starting to grow his hair out like Eddie Guerrero. He's acting
like
Eddie
he did
Guerrero.
That. Yeah, that's definitely
like the heel Eddie Guerrero. So he's finding himself, and he's still a young kid. He's like 24, 25. I mean, he's barely, scratched the surface. And they put him with guys and, on the, Judgment Day that fit. They can teach him, and he's just going to do well. And I think I bought another card off here that I always said is a good investment is Hook.
What?
AEW.
Yeah, I was going to say that because I had some Hooks and I sold them in Dallas, so I bought some more. I even bought that graded one, and you bought that one right from me. I only had it for a day.
Yep. It's hard to find Hook autos.
That's Taz's son.
Yep.
There is a Hook auto right now
in that set. Yeah,
in
that set. It's just hard to find. I have
not seen one. Yeah, it's got to be hard. So right now, everybody's just buying either the Pyro serial numbers or the relics.
Exactly. And also that set is so hard to get auto. So there's ton of unopened products still out there. So, but I think his stuff that's an easy. They're cheap. They're not cheap, but they're a good price if you can find them. And you can probably get an auto for $100 if you find them.
But his prices are going up a little higher than the rest of the wrestlers in that set.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's been pretty stable. I think, the only ones that really sell is like Britt Baker, honestly.
MJF does.
I haven't really noticed too much. I haven't seen too many of his stuff, so if that makes sense if he goes up.
Him and Omega sell very well.
Yeah, you would think the Young Bucks would sell well, but I mean, like I said, in California, they don't sell in California, so.
It's funny because I saw those guys when I got back into wrestling and watching it again in 2016. My friends would take me to PWG events, and they were always there. They were always the main event against somebody. and Adam Cole and all those guys.
Yeah, Kevin Owens and Adam Cole and Mount Rushmore. Kevin Owens was Kevin Steen, Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. That was Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, and I have these cards too. I just picked these up. You said Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens. I got this right here.
There you go. Yeah, I saw you posted that.
Yeah, and then I've got, who that is?
Yeah, there's Seth Rollins, Tyler
Black. Yeah. Yep. And then you on your latest post, which is on Instagram, which is Don_wrestling_sports. Your last post is a Walter, who is now Gunther, right? Am I saying it correctly? And you have a Transcendent on there, which you talked about is one of your favorite card sets, correct? Yeah. And it's a 1 of 1. It's a red 1 of 1. And you said he's going to be a star. And it's going to show you, because I talk about indie wrestling, because you seem to know it very well. And I've really gotten into indie wrestling lately. And I have this one from the Joy Janela. Is it Joy Janela?
Yeah.
Spring Break. It's Gunther or Walter back then versus PCO. So I got that graded from CSG, because they'll grade these. And then I got the, we just talked about PWG, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and it's this Bola. Battle of Los Angeles. And that's kind of like pretty much his indie rookie card. And you see he's a little beefier there than he is now. He's more leaner and muscular.
Oh, yeah. He's lost a good probably 50 pounds. He's
right. He looks great.
Yeah, he hasn't even shown his whole wrestling arsenal yet. So he has so much more he hasn't even shown in WWE, just because you got big guys got to save those special moves, and I'm pretty sure he'll break them out for WrestleMania.
What are some of your prized possessions? Do you have any to show us?
Yeah, I showed you the Vince McMahon 1 of 1.
We saw that one already, right? And
yeah.
Is that a gold? That's a gold one or what?
Yeah, they had 2 1 of 1s that year. So they had one in the gold yellow, and they had one for red.
Right.
So it's just one of those things. So I already have the 1. I also have the Shane McMahon and Stephanie McMahon 1 of 1. So those go together. This is the red and it's the yellow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and of course, I'm a big Stone Cold guy.
There's not a Linda one?
No, I wish. That's one you need.
You'd have the whole family.
Yeah, so with the Stone Cold, it took a long time coming, but I basically have the whole rainbow for the Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
For that set, I have the rainbow. So I got both 1 of 1s for the Austin for Stone Cold.
They bring that the graded one over a little more to the middle. There you go. And so one's yellow, like you said, and the other one's red, correct?
Yep. Yeah, both
gold and red.
Yeah. And then they also have the sketch too. 1 of 1.
Oh yeah, those things are really hot, aren't they?
Yeah, I got that one, and I have.
Did you have to pay a pretty penny for those, or did you?
At that time, I did. At that time, I did, but now I could sell these for way more than I bought these.
No, true.
Yeah, actually, so I have the Stone Cold and The Rock. I have Randy Orton. I had basically almost all the 4 Horsewomen, but I ended up selling those to guys from the Facebook group that I met because I found some collectors. I had the Becky Lynch, had Sasha Banks, I had Charlotte, had those ones, and then a couple other ones. I have I got the Superfractors, Stephanie and Shane Superfractor from 2021.
Oh wow,
Superfractors. I told you I'm a big Adam Cole guy. Adam Cole Superfractor, but look at those inscriptions.
Too. Oh wow, it has inscriptions and everything. Whoa, what's it say on there?
Greatest NXT champ of all time, 403 days as champ, and then that baby.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, so
where'd you acquire that one?
I bought it on eBay. I paid a lot for that one. I had to have it, And then you got the Shield auto, triple auto.
Oh, nice. That's Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I just got that one. And then I posted this on my Instagram, the Dudley triple from iMac.
The Dudley, yes.
This was one of the cards
Dudley.
Yeah, I really, really wanted this card when it came out, and I hid it in one of my boxes.
Okay.
And they redeemed it right away. I was surprised because all 3 guys aren't with the company anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's kind of surprising. And then a few other cards, I have a few of these ones, but a Triple H Stephanie McMahon, the Claire dual auto, Undertaker Kane.
What's that from?
This is from 2017 Legends of WWE. One of the best and most underrated sets is 2017 Legends of WWE.
Oh, wow.
And then, I have some other cards. I mean, I got some of the older ones. A 2006 Undertaker Superfractor.
Superfractor, right.
That one. I got a Ric Flair 101.
Whoa, what's that from?
It's from 2014 tops. 2016 tops. Yeah. And then, I got some of the Prism autos and, everybody sees. And I don't really buy Leaf, but this is one of the, I had to have this one.
Hogan. Oh, yeah, hold that one for a while. We have Hogan, Flair,
and Stone Cold.
And Stone Cold. Yeah, someone in the chats the other night asked if you can get all those people in one card.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Leaf kind of does it.
Yeah, I'm not a big Leaf guy, but, stuff like that. That one I had to have. Yeah, memorabilia wise, I mean, I have some title belts, and I have some. I mean, I mainly like the only memorabilia I really care for like photos. Like when I meet them and get them to sign them and things like that. And like I have a couple of belts that I've signed, multi-signed. It's hard to show with the belts because they're so big. Yeah, stuff like that. But that's mainly about most of my like memorabilia action. Is just
now. Have you bought any like vintage?
I have at the beginning when wrestling got hot. I bought some of the stuff like the 74 New Japan Andre the Giant, some Wrestling All Stars, but I ended up selling those at the shows.
Oh wow!
They were hot at that time, so I figured I'll just sell them now because I mainly focused my collection on autographs.
Right.
And I preferred on card, but Topps you didn't have a lot of on card autos, but there were some. But I mainly want. It's kind of the same thing with sports. I mainly now. If I'm gonna keep something for my PC, I want an autograph. Rookie card is nice, but I prefer to have an autograph because I think it's more. I feel like I'm more in touch, right? Because the athlete actually touched the card and signed the card.
Exactly. That's what a lot of people think in sports, correct?
Yeah, it's not like don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm gonna have a 52 mantle anytime soon, right? But I would love to have one of those. But no, I actually prefer. I just prefer autos more. And, they're just, and then the picture, whatever the picture's on the card. That's why with iMac and certain things like that, just the picture matters. I think that people like that. That's why you'll see certain cards sell for more, even though they may be numbered higher. It's mainly because of the photo that's on the card.
Oh, really? That helps as well. The photo on the card.
Yeah, that's the best thing going for Panini because they have access to the entire WWE library. So
they did. Topps didn't, or what?
Topps did, but they didn't use them as much. It was more action shots.
Oh, really? Okay.
Whereas Panini is actually, you can see the cards on iMac. They're just so nice and pictures that I've never seen before, or the iconic pictures that we all know, and they've been using that very well. So, I mean, it's pretty easy for Panini to get this thing going. Be able to have these nice cards.
You see, the only cards I didn't like sometimes when I'd see even on a Transcendent, I'd see like a wrestler in a suit or behind a podium, and I was like, what? I want an action shot. Why are you behind? Why are you in a suit?
Yeah, there's that too. That was one thing. The photos weren't the best with Topps, but at the same time, like I'm looking back, like at the time, Topps WWE cards still look better than Panini sports cards.
I totally agree. I mean, you're still buying Topps cards, correct? Autographs.
Yeah, I still prefer. I prefer the older stuff because one, it's actually cheaper, and then two, like you won't see them. The only reason they pop up is like somebody's trying to move a collection or they recently got it and just are moving it, because you won't see these big cards, pre 2018 show up often because they're in people's PCs.
Okay,
they're not going anywhere.
So what are your favorite sets?
I mean, that 2017 Legends of WWE is great because they were on card. The dual and triple autos were stickers, but like the main cards were all on card and then all the Hall of Famers. So you had current guys and Hall of Famers. And that was the first time you can get guys like, like Farouk and Cowboy Bob Orton and just obscure names, that they would then sign any other set, until Panini. Now you can get some of those guys signing Panini cards. So it almost makes them like less for the Topps. But I still love Topps. Like they're so affordable. And
so you like the Legends set for 2017. You probably like all 3 years of Transcendent.
Only 19 and 21. I think 20 was horrible.
Oh, really? Why is that?
I don't know if pandemic had anything to do with it or not, but like I don't like the design. They don't sell well. at all.
Oh, really? Good
Yeah,
to know.
people don't like. Yeah, people don't like him.
Oh, that's why Kelly always sells those to me.
Yeah, I think it's part of the pandemic. I think that's part of it. It just wasn't very popular, and it just didn't look good to me, honestly.
Oh, wow.
21 was much better, because they included the superfractors.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just a lot better looking set, better variety selection of people.
And
I have some, I have them, but I have cards from 2020. Just it's mainly the lower numbered guys, so more than anything.
Because I just got it was a Rio Ripley. That's a non-auto from there. I just got it graded back from PSA. It came back a 9. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't know they made non-auto ones as well. I'm trying to see if I have it here.
Yeah, it's from the it's like from the base set.
It
I think it was the base set. Isn't it?
See, I didn't even know that. Right there.
Yeah, they had base set. I have that set. Like I still have them sealed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't open them.
Do you have a favorite oddball wrestler that you collect?
Oddball wrestler?
Yeah. That's not like a legend or a champion or anything like that. That's like, but you just like them?
I mean, I don't know. I can't think of one off the
top of my head. You don't have a Blue Meanie, a Conquistador? I don't know.
Not really. Like I'm trying to think of some of the ECW guys. I mean, I have
right.
Some of those guys from the old
Stevie Richards.
They signed in WWE like back in the mid 2000s. They had Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, Sandman. They had sticker autos back then. I'm trying to think of somebody. I mean, I had a Hornswoggle auto. I had one of those. The Boogeyman.
Superfractor.
Yeah, the Boogeyman has cards right now.
Oh wow.
That so there's really no oddball ones. I mean, the only oddball one, I guess, but it's more of like they're in Leaf Pop Century, right? So I have a Kane and Pete Rose dual auto 1-of-1. So everybody knows Kane and Pete Rose, from WrestleMania. They had
where he slammed them.
Yeah, a couple of times, So that's probably about it.
So it's a Kane Pete Rose dual auto.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be cool. That's pretty unique. And you have that card?
Yeah, it's from Leaf Pop Century. So
okay.
So. But it still has Kane on it, so it's something, right?
Yeah, Kane and Pete Rose, that's definitely a conversation piece.
Yeah, I mean, all my unique cards are like the dual autos and like the triple autos that I keep for my PC. And, those always will be like the last ones I sell just because they're so unique,
And people tried to buy them from you?
I don't show them. So that's
you don't?
Yeah, it took me a long. I mean, for my Instagram page, I only opened my Instagram page literally last summer because people kept pressuring me from the shows.
Oh no! How dare
they? Said, you need to like open an Instagram. I'm like, no, like I don't need it. Like I've never really showed my cards. Like I'll show them every now and then.
You got some really cool ones, man.
Yeah, some of the random. I'll show. So every time I've shown random cards on Facebook, next thing you know, I get hit up with DMs trying to sell them.
Oh, they think you're going to sell it? Yeah, because you even got the. I guess the rookie auto of Stone Cold.
Right? Technically, yeah.
Technically. 2001. He didn't have a 98 WCW?
No, he didn't have any WCW.
He wasn't even with WCW then.
No,
sorry,
but it's the 98. It's the I can't remember the card now.
The comic images?
99. I think it's 2001 Flair. Yeah. He signed at Austin 316.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you have that one.
That's technically his rookie.
Yeah, his first rookie auto.
Yeah, you would think it sells more, but it doesn't. Because just people don't know about it.
I don't think they know about it.
Yeah, I think because right now the hot thing is just shiny cards.
And it's numbered out of 500.
Yeah, right now it's just shiny cards. So like what I like to do, honestly, is like when the stuff's popular right now, I'll look for the other stuff because people aren't looking.
Exactly.
I'll look for those WCW cards or the older Flair cards. Because stuff like that, it's cheap. They're not, the Stone Cold autos go for, anywhere between $400 to $500 raw.
That's it.
They don't really go for much. But every time I see one, I'll bid on it.
Right.
They're usually
how about the Rock now?
Well, a couple of graded ones just sold recently for like $1,600 and $1,700.
And what were the grades? Like
I tried to get it. Yeah, one was a 7.9, I think.
Okay.
And then the other one was a 6.9, I think.
Jeez. And that's like 98 comic images, correct?
Yeah. So those will always be popular. I think even for that price, I tried to bid on both and I got outbid. I probably shouldn't have been so cheap and just bid more and just get them. Because I mean, it's gonna get harder and harder to find.
And did The Rock do any autos at all when Flair or Topps had WWE?
That's his only That is his only wrestling auto.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he has autos from the. Yeah, he has autos from the
other movies and stuff.
The Mummy series, like they did, but he signed them Dwayne Johnson. So those are popular too if you can find them. But the Rock auto is always good. So I think they were super high at one point, and now they've come back down to earth. So like,
I mean, personally, I think 1,600 is pretty low for someone.
Yeah,
like
I should have. Yeah, I tried bid on both, but I probably should have just bid more and just try to get them. You know, like I mean, that's what I did with the Undertaker Action Pack. Anytime I see him, I just buy it.
Oh, you do? I've only owned one. I've had one Randy Savage.
Yeah, I have one Randy Savage one, and it's pretty beat up, so it's not even worth grading.
They're always kind of beat up.
Yeah, if the auto's there, it's clean. You know, it's all good.
Yeah,
so.
And those are numbered at 500 too, right?
Yes.
And do you have any of the good of the 98 Topps WCW, the horizontal autos?
Yeah, I used to have a lot more. Now I have about, I want to say about 15 or 20. Okay. Mainly the big names. You know, I have Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. I don't have Hogan. That's the one everybody wants.
Oh, I thought they won or Guerrero and Benoit.
Yeah, I have Eddie Guerrero. I don't have Benoit. I thought I had one, but I think I sold it. I have a different Benoit. I
made good money from them, but I some part of me sometimes regrets it.
Yeah, I had 4 Macho Mans at one time.
Oh wow!
Now I only have 1. I have 2 Miss Elizabeth ones. So those ones are kind of.
Did Ray have one?
Who?
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio. I don't think so. No, I could be wrong. I think he might have. I'm not sure. But like I may have just kept the big names. You know, like those Goldberg, Bobby Heenan, Bret Hart. I'll probably look to start selling some of those. It just kind of doesn't fit my PC as much anymore. So I can't keep everything. So I'll probably start selling some.
They're hard to find, man. That's the only thing. Once you sell those, it's hard to get.
Yeah,
those
and
back.
it's a matter of timing too. Like if I were to put them up on eBay right now, they probably wouldn't fetch as much because there's so much iMac out there.
Oh really?
So, yeah, people are just they're gearing their money towards one thing right now. So
being all the Panini products.
Yeah. So what I usually do is the newer stuff I will only buy like the more lower number stuff and overpay for certain ones that I want. But for the most part, I will wait till the next product comes up before I buy the current one I really want. Gotcha. Like you can find Impeccable cheaper now because Immaculate came out. Right. Once Prism comes out, iMac will be cheaper because people have to sell their iMac stuff to pay for Prism.
Yeah, I already got an email tonight saying they're first off the line for Prism 2.
I saw that, and I have no desire to open any Prism.
No, not at all?
None. I'll just buy whatever I want.
But what do you think the long-term effect of Prism is going to be? Is it going to be like other sports?
No.
Oh, really? You don't think it'll ever be
Prism faded? Yeah, Prism faded out pretty quickly this last ones, but I am buying any PSA 10s I can find.
Like 10 years from now, Prism will do well. I'm at this first series.
It's kind of a little investment I'm doing. It's just buying PSA 10s.
Gotcha.
The current Prism, just because they're so hard to grade. So I've been doing that a little bit, but other than that, I don't really see much investment in Prism. Now the Color Blast will do well, Gold will always do well, things like that. But I just don't see it. Wrestling industry is mainly more about autos and patches.
Gotcha. Good to know. Okay, so let's close it. I have one thing I'm going to have you do before the end of the show, Don. Okay, I need your expertise. I need the predictions of who's going to win each event at WrestleMania. Okay, you think you can handle this? I'm going to give you each match, and you tell me who you predict is going to winner. And if you want to elaborate, feel free. Okay.
Yep.
First one, Dominic versus Rey Mysterio.
Dominic will win that one.
Oh, why do you think that?
I believe you will see, because that storyline is tremendous. You know, especially what happened at SmackDown. I think what you're gonna see is towards the very end, you're gonna see Dominic plead with his dad that, you know, don't beat me because I'm your son, and Rey's gonna get soft, and then Dominic's gonna hit him with a low blow or something like that, and just roll him up for a win.
Oh wow,
that's what I see happening.
I can see that.
Yeah.
The next one is, I guess this is the tag teams. Braun Strowman, Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus Viking Raiders.
Viking Raiders.
Ooh, what really?
because I think the other 3 teams are going to break up at some point this year.
Oh, all the other 3 guys?
Yep.
Well, it looks like Alpha Academy is about to, right? And Street Profits are coming close as well.
Street Profits is a long time coming. Like, people want Montez Ford to be on his own.
They were waiting for that a year ago, I feel like.
Yeah, people were buying his cards in that anticipation for it.
Right. And he dates or he's married to Bianca Belair.
Yep.
What, are they married or?
Yeah, they're married.
They are married. Okay, I didn't know. Okay, good to know. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalia and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
Ronda and Shayna.
Okay. Their time is due since they're 2 badasses, right?
Yeah, I think you got to put the straps on them. And, you know, I mean, who doesn't want to see Ronda and Shayna against Becky and Lita?
Oh, yeah. It'll definitely take a really good tag team to beat them once they hold the belts. Agree?
Agree. I would just let them roll and make that division just unbeatable for them.
Okay, here's the next one. This is for an Intercontinental Championship. Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre, and Gunther's the champion.
I got Gunther winning that one. I think that's the match I want to see the most at WrestleMania.
Oh, wow. Good to know.
They're going to beat the living hell out of each other.
There's a lot of slapping?
They're gonna beat each other. Like, you're gonna see red chest from
this. A lot of, definitely gonna see it on Sheamus, man. He really shows it with his pale white skin, that Irish skin of his.
Those guys like to hit hard and harder.
Oh yeah, big guys. Next is Hell in a Cell: Edge versus Finn Balor.
There's so much rumor going on with this match, but I mean, Edge has got to probably. I would say Edge has to win this one.
All right.
There's all those rumors about a potential Brood reunion in this match, but that'd be awesome, you know. But I just think Edge will win this one. Finn will look good. Edge gotta move on.
Yeah, there is rumors that Christian is coming back to WWE to retire with Edge since he lost his match at AEW, the coffin match.
Yeah, I think that'll happen, but I think Christian's still under contract. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
Next is I guess it's for the women's tag team title. Becky Lynch and Lita versus. Oh no, this is not the tag team title. This is the 6-man tag team. Sorry, Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control.
They're making it so obvious that Becky, Lita, and Trish will win that I may have to take a stab at this one and go with Damage Control, unless Damage Control is just getting beat up literally every single week. I don't know. I really don't care, honestly, about that match.
They haven't been controlling their damage, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like I kind of want somebody to turn on somebody in that match. Like,
well, there's rumors that Trish is going to.
Yeah, Trish turn on Lita or Beck or just Bayley to walk away from that group or something.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
What's going to continue those women to continue to wrestle, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be Lita, Trish, and Becky will probably win it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Next is for the United States Championship: Austin Theory versus John Cena. Austin Theory's your champion. You think he's going to win? He's
going to retain and make a name for himself.
All right. So this is pretty much Cena handing the baton over to Theory.
I hope so. Unless Super Cena comes back and buries him.
Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Got to go with Seth on that one.
Good. Okay. This is going to be the interesting one everybody's been talking about. Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
I think Omos will dominate the entire match, and then an F5 will end it, and Brock will win.
Oh, wow. Good to hear that one. For the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, the Usos are the champions versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
It's got to be KO and Sami.
Oh, yeah.
Too much on fire,
right?
It has to, yeah. Just to, unless we're going to get one of those, KO turns on Sami again, for the
I hope not.
For the 20th time,
Oh, God, really?
Yeah, but I doubt it. I think it's time to take the titles off the Usos, just to take the next step to the Bloodline storyline.
Okay, next is the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair, who's the champion, versus Asuka.
I want so bad for Asuka to win this one, but I just think Bianca will win.
Okay. And for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair, who's the champion, versus Rio Ripley.
Rhea's going to win the main event of night one and become the new champion.
And do you want that or not want that? Since you're a Charlotte fan.
I'm a fan of both, but I think it's Rhea's
you are?
time. It's Rhea's time.
It's Rhea's time.
Yeah.
And last, for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns, who's the champion, versus Cody Rhodes.
It's really tough. Honestly, it's really tough. Just busy. I think business wise, like, can you take the title off of Roman? But I'm gonna go with Cody because I think it's gonna work out both ways. Cody, finishes the story, and I think the downfall of the bloodline is gonna be just as good as the rise of the bloodline. I just think Roman needs to lose the title so he can advance his character.
Gotcha.
If he wins, then you kind of just continue the same old.
Great.
It's great. But I think losing the title and the Usos losing is going to create other stories that could be very interesting.
And we'll have a good 2023 ahead of us.
Yeah, and I see Roman being like literally the top. He's going to become one of the ultimate baby faces within the year or two.
Oh, really? Okay, good to know. You heard it from Don Pham. And Don, is there any last minute shout outs, anything you want to plug, anything you want to say to the audience? Say it now.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for the invite. This is the first show I've ever done.
It's been an honor.
Wrestling. Yeah, appreciate it. It's WrestleMania weekend. Enjoy. Like, I got back into wrestling. I've always loved wrestling. The reason I watch wrestling is it's like an escape from real life. I can watch. It's like watching drama. Like watching a movie or anything else. It takes me away. Especially just look at the Bloodline storyline. I mean, we've been taking ups and downs, roller coasters, and things like that. Like, you don't get that anywhere else. When it's good, it's great. So everybody just enjoy WrestleMania weekend. Just have fun. Just take all your worries away and just have a blast, right? So that's about it.
All right. Thank you so much. And where can they see you on Instagram at Don_wrestling_sports, correct?
Yep, that's correct. You can see, cards I have on there.
He finally has Instagram.
Yeah, if I have Instagram, feel free to message me if you want to talk wrestling, have some questions, anything I can help you with. More than happy to. There's a great wrestling community out there that, I think people can enjoy. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to be a part of the wrestling community. You can just just find some nice cards you can pay, $10, $20, $100, and just, be part of the group. Nobody bashes anybody. That's the one thing that's cool about wrestling cards. Like, people just like to share their favorite wrestlers and favorite cards. That's all it is.
We'd like to thank Don again for all the wrestling talk. This is Merlin for Between Two Slabs, Pop Culture Talk with Merle. And we'll see you all in the next show. Wave everybody, Don. Tell everybody bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good WrestleMania week.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you want to see more shows of Between Two Slabs and more roll cards, please make sure to hit the like button, leave some comments below, subscribe to more roll cards. Subscribe. I need more subscriptions. And hit that bell button so you'll know when more Merle World videos are posted on Merle World Cards YouTube channel. I'll see y'all on the next show. Bye-bye.